Hello, my name is Barry Parks, and today we're going to be talking about some of the dangers of data manipulation. So I want to start off by talking about relationship marketing. So that's a topic that we are discussing a lot this week, and really relationship marketing is the connection that a person feels to a company, product, or a service even based on a number of different factors, the most important ones being commitment, loyalty, trust, and satisfaction. Now, commitment is the connection that a person feels to a certain service or a product. For example, how far is the person willing to drive just to reach a certain store that they're used to shopping at? Loyalty is how obligated does the person feel to shop at the store just because they have shopped there in the past. Trust is how reliable do they think this store or this product or service is based on their past transactions. And satisfaction is just how do they feel about the overall quality of the service or the job that the product has done. So how is relationship marketing being used today? Well, we know that data is being collected on our spending habits, and they're using that to kind of determine when is the best time to target us with ads. For example, we learned in the TED Talk about the possible marketing of Vegas tickets to a bipolar person based on how close they are to being in the manic stage. We also have creating more personalized ads based on the connections that we have with the company, which is all based on the data that they have collected. And we also have the collection of personal data that is going on even whenever we don't really realize it. So where are millennials most susceptible to artificial intelligence and the manipulation of data? We know that there's a large population of millennials on social media, so there's a very heavy presence of targeted advertising on there. There's also the manipulation of what kind of news articles are being brought to your attention, based on past search results. There's also information gathered from applications or games that you have downloaded, which we'll talk about that in a future slide. And there's also the manipulation of what kind of reviews that you're seeing for a product that maybe you're looking up and researching. We also have the manipulation of data whenever it comes to communication methods. The most common one that I can think of is emails, getting targeted with ads through my email account constantly, based on services or websites that I've used in the past. So what are some examples of the manipulation of data that we will see today? Well, in March 2018, we got news that Cambridge Analytica, which is a political consulting company, had exploited Facebook's data sharing practices in order to influence some of the views that people had politically. And especially around the time of the 2016 presidential election. What we saw there was some priority given to certain views that the company wanted the person to kind of reflect and back with the upcoming election, and they would do that by promoting posts or advertisings or survey results, kind of up to the top of the person's Facebook feed, and while at the same time hiding some of the results of conflicting views that they were trying to convey. There's also the manipulation of buying likes and favorites on social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook, so that more popular comments or videos or posts are promoted up to the top of the person's feed, just because they paid for a service. There's also fake reviews that are being created on different product selling websites, that can make it tough to really get a good feel of how well a product that will perform before you buy it. And there's also obviously the use of targeted advertising on social media platforms based on your track search histories. Something that you might have just searched for, well, all of a sudden it's coming up on as an ad for the next video that you get to watch. And while some companies may not necessarily target you with advertising themselves, they will collect your contact information and then sell it to other companies, and they will start manipulating what kind of deals and offers that you might see, because now they have your contact information. So what are some good ways to protect ourselves from being manipulated by data? Well, there are certain European laws that were passed within the past couple of years that allows any person to request data that has been collected on them by a company, and they also have the option to have that company delete that data. Now, any company that wishes to, compete and provide their services in the European Union has to abide by these laws. So us people in the US are able to utilize the same services as long as they operate within the European Union. You can also use ad blocking services. There's some browser extensions such as uBlock and HTTPS Everywhere, which will help block some of the targeted advertising that you may be feeling that you're getting. There's also the usage of VPNs, virtual private networks, which will help secure your data. It'll allow you to move around your location of your devices in case someone's worried about tracking you, or if you're worried about being tracked, geography. And they can also manipulate your IP address, which is your unique identifier for your mobile device. Or it doesn't have to be a mobile device, it could be any sort of device that you're browsing the internet on. You should also be verifying any sources that you're seeing, articles that you're being promoted to read, maybe research what is the opposition argument of the article that you've just been sent. There's securing contact information. I learned a trick that you can kind of add something to your email address right before the @ symbol. So you could say put a plus sign and then the company name, and then if you get an email and you see that email address plus that company name, you can tell that maybe that company has sold out your information. So there's a lot of positive aspects for data collection, though. Still, you can get an accurate prediction of services or goods you may need in the future. If your sink breaks, well, you look up how to fix it. It might be nice to get that kind of targeted ad on plumbing companies, around you. So here are my references if you care to check out my sources.